Hey, this is Bob from the 5 Acre Woods. Thanks for joining me on my channel today. Happens to be our first snowfall of the season, and I'm going to fire up our coal stove. I'm walking out here, disturbing the birds and everything at the feeder. I'm sorry, birds. And we have to check the chimney first. It's been a couple years since I fired up the old coal stove, but let me see. I don't know. I remember how to open this.
Let me put you on pause. Hold on.
All right, I got it open, but it does need a little cleaning out. You never know what's going to be living in here, so you have to be careful. Next thing I want to do, I want to check up and see if we're actually clear all the way up. Okay, let me see. Make sure we're on. Okay, at first glance, it looks like I can't see any daylight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach up in there with a brush and get it cleaned out. Because first things first, if this is clogged in some way, or if an animal's gotten in here or something, that's what it looks like. Just a masonry chimney, and the fumes can't go anywhere. That's bad. So first thing, we're going to clean this out, and as soon as I see daylight, I know it'll be clear, and I'll get a mirror in there. Maybe I'll just use the phone and I'll kind of look at it that way. So let me put you on pause. I'm going to check this out. Maybe I can. This is what I'll do. I'll put it here, and that way you can see. Maybe. I don't think this is going to stay. Maybe it'll stay. I'll invest in a better tripod. But anyway, hopefully, I think you can see that. First, we're going to clean it out and see what we got in here. A lot of snow is falling out and falling down there, I should say. It's coming out. But so far, I don't see any daylight. I should see something there. The trusty metal bar. Like I said, I haven't used this in about 2 years, because it's a good thing too, because I'm going to talk about coal prices further in the video. Let's see if I can. All right. Now, I'll go over here. All right, I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to shine it up in there. As you can see, we can see right up through, and the draft is good too, because I can see particles going up inside there. So nothing's blocking the chimney, so we're good. The chimney top is long blown off, but it's all right. It'll still work. And I'm going to replace that on another video.
See, all this is frozen, but this is really just, all this is coal dust. See, all this coal dust come out for years. And I don't know if how much of this is concrete that is built in here. I don't want to chop away anything. They don't have to. Maybe it is frozen. But anyway, it doesn't have to be.
Now you can see pretty far back there. It's all clear. All the way back to the chimney. It's clean.
Papa,
What?
your shoes is attracting water everywhere.
Sorry.
Water is
Don't tell Mom, okay? Whatever you do.
I did tell my
Oh no. I'm in trouble now. All clear. All clear. Make sure microphone's still on. Still connected. All right. Sorry that was a bumpy ride there. Now this, I'm going to take outside and just, bang it out. Okay. Pipe one. This one, not as bad as that first one. For that first one, this one comes up and turns, so a lot of it, from here comes up and turns. So now a lot of it gets caught in here, but a little bit on the edge. So I'll clean that out. Next will be inside. Ooh. As you can see, it isn't a direct draft. It comes from one side or the other. Inside, you can see there and there. So I'm going to be brushing down all this down, and I'm going to clean out the entire box because there's like look how it flakes off, and that's all got to go. It'll form again, and up here is kind of heat concentrates up in here, and it's kind of like a jacket around the whole thing, and air gets blown from here, which this is not functioning right now. I have an external fan that I'm going to be using, and it blows air through this pipe, and it goes across the way there to a vent inside the house. And you might think that's not a very big pipe, but it puts out some heat because it heats the entire basement, and the heat just kind of radiates up through the floor. It's a lot more work. Now in here, you can see it's gotten corroded. And that's because when you get coal in bags, it travels a long way sometimes. And what they do at the quarries and at the mines, before they bag it, they wet it. They soak it down. And that's for two reasons. One reason is so that the dust from the coal doesn't fly all over while they're transporting it. And the other reason is, if they don't do that, while they're transporting this coal in bags, it rubs against each other in the bags, and it causes heat, and it can cause a fire. Now earlier I mentioned about the price of coal. I don't want to make it too dusty down here, but the price of coal has doubled because they're not making it very friendly to be a coal miner these days. Let me grab this brush. And since some quarries have shut down, and there's still a demand for coal because a lot of people have coal stoves. I bought this for $5.99 a bag, and I bought 2 pallets, and it had 60 bags on each pallet, and that's 120 bags at $5.99. Plus, when I bought those, I got 15% off for buying pallets, off the total price. I forget what the price was, whatever that price is times. It's probably like, it was regular $5.99 a bag. Maybe it would be $5.25 a bag, something like that, with the 15% discount. Now, last but not least is the chamber inside. Now I brushed down the sides, so all those flakes have come off. Now back here is all the mechanism that goes on, and I've already checked this out. So the motor works. This part down here, this electric, little tiny electric motor. I've had to replace that over the years. The last one just quit, and there's a little screw down there, as you can see. That screw can come loose no matter how I tighten it, no matter what I've done. I put a lock washer on it. For some reason, it comes loose. I'm not really worried about it because I keep an eye on it now. But what happens is, if that comes loose, this piece here, it's kind of very cold right now, it becomes, it disconnects, and that half circle auger stops turning, and then no more fuel goes in. The auger feeds the inside housing with coal, and if that stops, the flame goes out. So I just keep an eye on it. It's not a huge deal, but the important part is that we got the pipe clear. I'm going to put that all back together, and then we're going to move on to the inside chamber. I got it this far, and I can feel a nice draft going up. Now that we got it nice and clear, it got a little wet outside, but this is nice and clear. I can feel a nice draft going up, and that's good. All right, next is the firebox. Now, basically, I've pushed everything down to the bottom, and I got this large dustpan, and here is something that didn't come with the stove. The owner made this, and it catches all the ash that falls down off this ramp. Now, I've done a video before how to light the coal stove, and it's gotten, now it's over 16,000 views, which, as far as my YouTube channel goes, that's like the crown jewel of the videos. But obviously someone wants to see how to light, and I thought, well, maybe we should do a video on how to clean it, and then I'm going to light it, and I'll light it the same way. I'll show you again how I light my stove, and I wanted to find a way how to light my stove without, spending money on something from the store. Basically, I have just basic tools to get it started, and when we get to that point, I'll show you. But anyway, let me get this all cleaned out, and once I do, then we can get to the lighting of the stove. Okay, first we're going to microphone's getting all filthy. First, we're going to load up the hopper with coal. Okay, we have it almost in place, everything in place here. We have our small tin can. You can see behind there is coal ready to come in. The hopper is full. I have my jar of coal here. I have my kindling up here. So what I'm going to do is light first what we gotta do is we put a little coal in the bottom here. All right, first is that. This can is kind of like not the biggest tin can you can get, but not one of the small ones, like the 10 ounce. I think this is like a 24 ounce. And you cut the top and the bottom out. Okay. Next, we're gonna put in, let me extend this up as much as possible. I don't want to burn my phone up, but I want you to be able to see what we're doing here. So anyway, this is ready to go. Coal is right behind the can. Coal is in the can. And we're going to light our first piece. This is a near 100% effective. The way I light this, it's near 100%. The good thing we have behind us today is that we have dry coal, because this coal has been down here for a year or more. Some more fuel in there. And the best thing about this method of lighting the stove is that you don't have to buy anything. All you gotta have is some scrap wood. Oh, one other thing I have to mention: if you have a smoke detector in your basement or in your downstairs or whatever nearby, disconnect it for now, because this will set it off until you do. But then remember, and I'll put a reminder at the end of the video, not only for you but for myself. I'm going to back my phone up a little bit because I don't know exactly how much heat this thing can take, but I wanted you to see how it's lit. Okay. And you get a pretty good sized fire in here, you know. Now, someone might say, you know, what if that slips off? Well, I just take my shovel, I put it there so it stays in place. You're going to need your shovel, and hold on, one other thing. I have right behind me, actually, are a pair of just heavy gloves or welder's gloves, like this. You know, so that when things get hot, you can still handle. You can handle it all. And as the, you know, as the flame gets higher, there, you want to add some more wood fuel. You wanted to get it pretty hot because while the coal is dry and it's pretty apt to light quickly, you want to make sure it's as hot as possible. Otherwise you get frustrated. And I just keep feeding the flame here. And believe me, I have tried all kinds of methods to light the stove. All kinds. I've used, there's fire starters that you buy, they're kind of waxy, and they work okay, but it can still take you hours sometimes to get your stove lit, and it's very frustrating and makes you want to just quit and just, you know, use another form of heat. But this is the quickest, best method that I know of. You don't have to buy anything from the store. All you gotta do is have a, you know, pack of matches at least. I use a flicker lighter, cheapo from the dollar store, and I got scrap wood. And you don't have, you know, you don't have to use 2x4s, which I use, or, you know, anything that's available. I just use wood and I just split it all up. It's going to get hotter, and a good way of knowing that you have enough, you know, of a flame in the bottom is that the bottom of the can will start to glow. I don't know if you can see, the smoke is coming out of here. But at the same time, we're heating up the flue. This does help it to heat the flue up, and it will draw it out. And it is a little windy today, and as wind passes over the top of a chimney, it tends to draw air out. And so, yeah. Again, I don't want to burn up my phone. Now you let this burn for a little while. Now, one thing you can do if you have dry coal, and I take some in my hand here, just throw it in there. Now this is all before. Now I have a remote start for my stove, and nothing fancy. It's the same kind of remote start you start your Christmas tree with, but it works well with this, because then I don't have to get up and plug it in and unplug it if if it doesn't light or something like that. You be the judge. If you need more wood, which it doesn't hurt to put more in. As it goes, it'll tend to burn down, and the embers will go to the bottom and make the bottom nice and hot. And the coals start to light. And once the coal starts lighting, that's half the battle. And once I do turn this on, it's going to flare up like a nuclear explosion at first. But what can happen is, if you're not careful, it can actually kind of blow the flame out. It's kind of a strong, you can't see it too much from this angle, but let me see if you can see the holes in the grate down there, and there's, it's loaded with holes. And there's a fan behind it. And when I turn that on, it blows air up through this can and everything, and it gives it oxygen, and oxygen is the fuel of fire besides whatever it's burning. I threw a little more coal in there. It's been a couple of years since I've done this, so I'm a little out of practice. Now you can hear the crackling. I don't know if you can hear that or not. That's the crackling of the coal burning. There's plenty of smoke coming out, which I'm not thrilled about. But you're going to that's why you disconnect your smoke alarm. Now, if it gets too smoky, you can shut the door. You can shut the door to this thing. But what I'm going to do is I am going to take the shovel away, and I'm going to start it. As you can see, when I do start it, it does start to burn. And you notice that now you can add some coal to this hot flame. Not too much. Not too much. A little bit more. Okay. Now, I'm going to get the lens in the right spot here. But in a little while, if we're successful, and I think we will be, I'm going to throw a little bit more coal in there. I keep having to put the camera down, but I want you to see, what you're supposed to be looking for. Now, can you see the side of the can is getting very, very red? That means we're very, very close to having this thing lit. And look, time-wise, I think we don't even have like 10 minutes into this yet. I'm doing this at a perfect time of the year because most of the country is going through a terrible cold snap. And for many years I went through a very frustrating time lighting my coal stove. And I'm going to throw a little bit more on. I hesitate to put too much on. But the coal is nice and dry, so you can deal with wet coal, and that's that can be very frustrating too. Now, what I want to do while that's good is squeeze I want to increase the speed of our auger right here, so I'm going to put it up to 3, and that's pretty fast. And that would be a really hot flame. You don't want to get too hot. But anyway, I want to bring some coal down here so that I'm going to kind of help it along the way. So now, what I'm going to do, the thing you do next, is now you want to push this back a little bit into where the coal is. Just push it back in there. Don't hurt one blessed thing. And the further back you go, a little bit, the better. Once you're comfortable with that, you can tip this up. And you're going to do it this way. Alright? With this, you take it out. It's going to be hot, just put it aside. This goes down, and now it looks like we're in business. Now I have it on there pretty hot. I got it on 3. It's going to feed. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. And there's my boy. As you can see, it's kind of a bluish, greenish flame that comes off the coal. And that's how you know it's lit. And it's as simple as that. It took maybe a total of 15 minutes to light. But we're going to now wait for it to really start churning up. Close the door. Now this glass used to be clear. I used to be able to see inside there. And every now and then I clean it, but I really don't need to see it. It's not, we don't use it for, beauty. It heats our house. So we didn't have to use our gloves today. Now, 2 things I'm going to put back in a little while. This is a CO2 sensor. Now, the one we have in the ceiling is also a CO2 sensor in case, something happens where it might leak carbon monoxide. And this sensor will go off because carbon monoxide tends to start at the floor first and then go up. But there was one time where we had a problem with our damper on here that had stayed open because of the wind had kept it open, or it was a piece of something in there that kept it open, and carbon monoxide got out, and the sensor up in the ceiling, which normally is also a fire alarm, went off. And fortunately, our fire department came and they told me what happened. I didn't know. I had no idea. They saw that this damper was open. That was kind of early on when we first moved here. Now, in there, I can feel, I don't have to put my hand in there too far, I can feel a nice draft. And when I go outside, I should be able to see just kind of waves coming off. Waves of heated air, heated smoke. But it's nice to get this going. It's been about 2 years since we started this up, and so it needed a thorough cleaning, which I did. And now down here, I'm very disappointed because I had gotten this motor. It's a fan. It's a fan motor. And it works. And it's supposed to fit inside that ring, which fits inside the other box that blows the air up into the house. And I have this giganto thing. It's a fan that blows up one of those jump houses for kids, and I got it from actually one of my daughters had one, and she got rid of it. The house tore and it ripped, but this fan it still works. But That I use now to blow the heat into the house. Now down here you won't need it. Down here you don't need a fan to blow things around, because this will just be warm enough. So I'm not going to show you how I clean everything up here, which, you know, a bit of a mess from the word go when it comes to stoves. Now this jar I keep back here. It's safe to put back here. I keep a hammer back there. I keep a pair of pliers, this axe, that sort of thing. Everything else has to come off the top, because the top of this gets very, very hot. And that's my on and offer, we'll call it. Now this, I want it to get nice and hot. I'm going to show you how incredibly hot this can get in a short amount of time. Look at that flame. Now when it's in full bloom, as I call it, it's horseshoe shaped. You'll see it'll be like a leading edge of the coal, but in a horseshoe shape coming out. But what I want to do is I want to put it on nice and high at first, so it gets nice and toasty. And then I'm going to have to sweep this whole thing off and clean it off. And that's it. If you like what you see, and you got this far into the video and didn't turn it off, if you like what you see, subscribe. We need subscribers. I'm growing. Subscription is increased as I look at the analytics. We're not a monetized channel yet. I still just want to make this part of our homestead, or 5 Acre Woods homestead videos. This is part of homesteading. Keeping the equipment that you use in good working order, and to be able to maintain it, and to, in this case, start the stove in the easiest possible way. There's going to be other videos later. When the weather breaks, we'll do more. We tend to do videos more on inside work. There's a lot of snow outside, so it's not that possible to do a whole lot outside that we plan to do until the weather breaks a little bit and get rid of the snow. I don't care about cold, but snow really kind of puts a kibosh on things. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up, share the video with others on social media, tell them about my channel, the 5 Acre Woods. The 5 Acre Woods, we are unique. The 5 Acre Woods. And if you put that in, our videos will come up. And please enjoy, and bye for now.